Hey, welcome to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Bantha. We are your hosts, Denise,
and Rexy, and we are recording with special support from Council Member Mark Collier.
and we're broadcasting from our galaxy to yours.
May the force be with you.
Always. Okay. What's up, Bird? We're live now.
Hello. Hey, Herd. How's it going?
We are back again this week talking more Star Wars. Last week was a lot of fun. We talked about what movies?
Living in a Star Wars film. Yeah,
Yes.
what Star Wars film we would want to live in.
That was a lot of fun. I think I'd be okay living it. I thought about it more.
Yeah.
I think I'd be okay with being a part of Rogue One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go down with the ship.
Yeah. It'd be a great and glorious death, getting the Death Star plans to
It would be, though.
the
You'd be a
Republic.
part of something amazing.
And it was a very beautiful scene as well. Who would have thought that a planet blowing up would look so pretty?
That's true.
That's a very morbid,
It's true, though.
very morbid thing. Oh my goodness. We're not threats to the Jedi, but this week, Rexy picked out our topic.
I am looking for them because I was talking with Denise instead of pulling up my stories. So give me just a second.
Sorry, I got people distracted. Normally it's the other way around. We're really reversing
We
roles
are
this week.
very reversed.
Look at these.
There
They're space tigers. Lions.
we go. Those are amazing.
So people can see what we are talking about. We got space lions.
Yeah.
From the High Republic. The Chancellor's lions. I can't remember. Targons, which are pretty epic looking. They're twins.
Yeah. Those are amazing. They're called Targons.
Yes.
They have big split tongues
And 4 eyes.
And a
glorious
lion face.
mane.
Oh, they're so cool.
They're so cool. I'm telling you, I'm becoming obsessed with the High Republic.
Yeah.
And while I was
I'm stoked to dive into it.
Yes,
I'm ready to
not
start.
going to give you spoilers, but
Okay.
while listening to the audiobook, just because it's easier while I'm working, because I do work a crazy full-time job,
Yeah.
I was sitting there with my Star Wars Wikipedia page up and Googling names as I heard it and different species and planets and ships, because I'm a very visual person. I need to see it in front of me to get more engaged with the story.
Mhm.
And being the High Republic, we don't really know anybody from the stories. So
It'll be exciting.
yeah. And so then I bought the encyclopedia because
To be helpful.
I like visuals, as I previously
too.
stated.
It's
And
difficult when there's no face at all or known pictures or nothing.
And so I'm getting I just messaged Rachel.
Oh, hey Phil.
What's up, Phil?
Oh, the production value on that audiobook is pretty epic.
It's so good.
Okay.
Oh my gosh,
Phil,
the music,
you gotta come back at the end of the month and talk about the book with us.
Yes, the last Wednesday of this month, we are talking all about the Light of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And we're having special guests.
Yes.
Rachel.
I believe we are having Rachel come on as a special guest. Yes.
But yeah, I was blown away. By
I'm excited to read it. I'm ready to get into it.
Yes. And you can borrow my visual book.
Sweet. Ooh. I also want to talk about something rad that everybody did this weekend.
What was that?
How was your April 8th?
What was April 8th? Oh, it was good. I was off work. It was, so we all know, I talk about my preteen, my 12-year-old, love him to death. He was off of school as well. He was off school. They just happened to have the 8th off. So I was like, I'll take the day off. We'll hang out. We'll watch the eclipse. And so the eclipse happens and he's like, that's it. it's not going to get darker.
Oh, we're not in totality, buddy.
I know, but we were told it was like 95, 96% totality. So I was thinking maybe like 95, 96% darkness.
Yeah.
It was not. But it was still really cool. We heard all the birds and the bugs and
everything go quiet. And
got
then like the nighttime
chilly,
stuff.
and it like the temperature definitely dropped dramatically, which was really cool. Yeah.
Mine was also pretty freaking cool. Eric and I went up to. Okay, so there's the story. I have tea to spill first. There is this eclipse vacation started off with some drama and some crime. So we had this place booked for a year and a half. Like Adri, Mark's wife. Mark is Eric's older brother.
Yeah.
Eric. She booked this place like a year and a half ago. As soon as she found out that this was going to happen, we both did it. No, it's fine. We both did it. I'm gonna put your book down here though.
Okay.
Okay, so she booked this place like a year and a half ago. As soon as we found out the eclipse was gonna happen.
Yep.
And it was a place up by Springfield, like Frederickstown, I think was what it was called. But it was in the path of totality.
Okay, so I was confused when you said Eureka Springs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, because we were supposed to go up by St. Louis. St. Louis, not Springfield. Yeah, because that was in the path of totality. And we're like, it's so close. We'll just drive there and make a weekend of it, right? So a year and a half passes. We're all getting ready to go. It is the night that Eric and I are about to leave and drive to his mom's house. Because we're going to stay the night with her and then carpool with her up to St. Louis instead of bringing everybody's cars. Mark and Adri headed out that night, and we're heading up there to, or the day that we were all supposed to leave. They were heading up towards our place in St. Louis, and they were like, let's just call and get like our code and all that stuff ahead of time, make sure it's all squared away. They call and they call and they call, and the phone rings and rings, and like no number, no, nothing. They can't get a hold of anybody at all. And so they were like, oh, well, this is the problem. So they call Airbnb, and they're like, hey, we're on our way to this house. We don't have any codes or anything. Like, it's been booked for a year and a half. We can't get a hold of anybody. And they were like, okay, well, hold on. We have, like emergency numbers and things like that.
Yeah.
So they were like, hang on. Yeah, we don't know, but we'll see if we can get a hold of them. So they call and call and call and call, and they can get a hold of nobody. So Airbnb is like, oh, okay, we don't know what happened. We're going to have to investigate this further. In the meantime, we're going to give you a partial refund and put you in another place, for no extra cost at all, another place in the area.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, cool. It's totality of
eclipse.
These
places have
there
been
is
booked
nothing. Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. Booked ours a year and a half ago.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So there's nothing available. So they were like, oh no, I'm so sorry. Here's a full refund. We don't know what to do.
Oh,
right? Because at that point, it's like, we can't really blame Airbnb for shady stuff the owner's doing. And it turns out the owner had sold the house, but never updated the listing, just kept collecting people's money.
Oh my God.
Like, nobody ever knew. So the new owner is just like, I don't know what you're talking about. This we don't have an Airbnb. We use our house for only us.
I say I've heard of Airbnb hosts for like big events, like they'll cancel people, and then rebook it with somebody else at a higher price to get more money.
But so frustrating. So this was just straight up fraud. He was just like, I'm gonna take all your money and you don't get a place to stay. So we were like, oh no. And Adri is a freaking rock star. And she scrambled around and happened to find this absolutely beautiful, perfect place in Eureka Springs. Like just like 15 minutes outside of Eureka Springs.
Oh, okay, nice.
And it wasn't 100% totality, which is a bummer because we were supposed to have that, but we had like 98.3% totality. So we got a heck of a good show.
Nice.
It was beautiful. And like you were talking about the degree, like we felt like a 5 to 10 degree temperature drop, and that was really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool, but Owen was like, "Oh, that's it." I'm going, like after like it moved back, like as it was moving past it, he's like, "I'm going to go back in and play video games." I'm like, whatever.
2045, we'll have to go to totality.
Yeah. So.
But it really illustrates. We were talking while we were watching it about how powerful the sun, and its rays are, because we were at, 1.7% of the sun we could see. That's all. And we were still like, you could see just fine. And it wasn't freezing. It's like, our sun is powerful. It's pretty amazing.
I mean, yeah, we're a lot closer than what, 6 other planets? 5 other, no. There's only 8 planets now. So 5
Aw.
other planets. Pluto's not a planet.
Poor Pluto.
Our poor childhood
I
was
know.
ruined. They took Pluto away
They have
from
been
us.
ruining our childhood like 3 or 4 times a year, every year, since we became adults.
Yeah.
It's like more and more things come out, and you're like, oh,
But you know
why?
what's great? We got fun Star Wars stories.
We do have some Star Wars stories, and we should probably get into them.
Yeah. Like, I didn't realize we've been chatting for 10
Oh,
minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. Well, thanks for being such good sports.
The eclipse was cool.
The eclipse was cool. While I'm editing this, when it drops on Friday, I'll toss in some pictures, and we also have some videos from us watching the eclipse. It'll be dropping probably today. Yeah. I haven't been home very long. I haven't been home very long, so I haven't had time to put everything together.
That's fine.
I'm sorry.
Life happens,
It
and
does.
Denise almost just knocked everything over. So
Oh.
let's just keep going.
Okay, maybe we won't do that.
Nope.
All right, so I have the first story from A New Hope. So during production on A New Hope, filming for the scenes on Tatooine were shot in Tangier, Tunisia. Tunisia. It was the perfect location for the dry, sandy environment of Luke's homeworld, owing to the fact that it hadn't rained there in 7 years, but Mother Nature had different ideas.
7 years?
7 years. It had not rained in this place for 7 years.
So I guess that does make it the perfect place for Tatooine, because I don't think Tatooine had seen rain in a very, very long time.
It's just sand.
Ugh. And they have to have their moisture farm.
Mm-hmm. Well, this day they didn't, because just after they arrived in Tunisia, the heavens opened up and the area experienced the heaviest rainfall in an entire generation. It rained for 4 days straight, causing filming to delay and damaging some of the sets.
That's like our luck.
That's rained in 7 years.
Imagine?
Here's a flood.
Oh my gosh. That sucks. And they traveled all that way too to
Yeah.
film.
To Tunisia.
To have it just
They're like, perfect place, desert. Hasn't rained in almost a decade. We'll be totally fine.
But they
The
also
day they get there.
filmed some of the scenes in Death Valley, didn't they, in California?
Mhm.
But those are the ones with the banthas.
Yeah, those are the ones with Bantha and
Oh.
Alex.
Guinness.
No, Alex.
Not
Oh, look.
Guinness
Alex.
beer.
Alex.
I need a drink after today's work day.
No, I can't remember his last name. Alex was
It
the
starts with
Bantha, the elephant trainer, the Bantha guy.
Oh. But
Anyway.
Margie was
Yeah,
the elephant that
Mhm.
they used.
and they were all shot in Death Valley. So, what else we got? Okay.
What? You're laughing, and I don't like laughing and not knowing what's going on.
Okay. So the costume that Anthony Daniels wore for A New Hope when he was P3O,
Yes.
3PO. Why do I'm-
You always say
I
P3O?
know. I was like P3O, 3PO. His
Because well,
name?
there's 3-PO.
Yeah,
So you always say PQs.
Yep.
But it's kind of weird, but it's okay.
I know.
We love you anyways. You might get us canceled because we say
I'm sorry, but
An
I
original
realize I'm
character.
doing it
original character's name wrong.
I
How
know.
dare you say
every single time.
PO instead of 3PO? You call yourself a fan. You are a disgrace. to
Disgrace
Trump.
to the whole fandom. Shame myself. Shame. Shame.
The sad thing is, there are people out there that do that.
Oh, I know. If this makes it into the right ears, that'll happen.
I got laughed at because I said I was excited for the main character in the new Star Wars Outlaws game because it's a female. And not a very attractive one at that.
Who cares? Kick them in the nuts.
Internet.
Right in the
Internet.
All right. So the costume that Anthony Daniels wore for A New Hope was extremely uncomfortable. It took hours to put on, and according to Daniels, the sharp edges hurt him with every single step.
So it sounds like wearing a stormtrooper or Armando.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Except worse. Even less mobility.
I'm gonna say that thing's like skin tight.
Mhm.
Like you
Can't even like put your arms all the way down.
I say you got no like mobility from side to side.
Pieces often fell off or broke. That's what I was giggling about. And the first time that Daniels put the costume on, the entire left leg shattered. The whole thing just came apart.
I'm having flashbacks to when I broke my shin on my Mando.
Yeah.
I was taking a picture in the snow trying to climb up on a log to get on the log and take a really cool picture, and I slipped and I smacked right into the piece of wood. That's partly why definitely.
Partly why he waddles.
I mean, you can't move, you can't bend his legs.
You can't? No?
You just shuffle.
This is all you can do.
The PTO or P3O shuffle. I was saying it for you.
Oh, damn it. Stop. P3O
It was
shuffle.
really hard for me to not add the 3 in front of the PO.
Like, I know. Every single time I do it, I know what I'm doing. I'm not.
I bet you
dyslexic.
PO had BO.
Oh, I bet he did. All right. Okay, so we've got another story here. Detailed in her 2008 autobiography, Wishful Drinking.
Oh.
Uh,
Read that one.
Yep. It's about Lucas's insistence that she did not wear a bra in New Hope. Fisher said years later that according to Lucas, lingerie doesn't exist in space,
So,
as the straps could end up strangling the wearer in a zero-gravity environment.
playing on that, does that mean guys don't wear underwear either?
I think so.
Because it'd get all
Because they
jumbled
would
up.
strangle you. Wait, what? No, so they basically strapped him to a furniture dolly so he could rest.
I've seen pictures of that.
I
just,
need
like,
a
laying
picture
back.
of that. I need to see it.
I hate the whole there's no like underwear in space. That's such a stupid
It's so
thing.
dumb.
It's so dumb. And it was it an issue in the first one? Did he say it in the first one, or did he bring it up in Return of the Jedi? Because she wore the bikini.
No, in A New Hope. I think
Okay.
it was from the New Hope. Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah. Insistence that she did not wear a
Freeballing
bra
in
in New Hope.
space. I couldn't
It's-
even.
Oh, I gotta plug my computer in real quick.
I
Let me finish
couldn't
the story.
even imagine freeballing in space.
I'm just constantly like floating around.
Not the anti-gravity. Blah, 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 blah.
I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to get that sound out of my head now.
Blah, 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 blah.
So with this in mind, Fisher often said that for her obituary, I want it reported that I drowned in moonlight, strangled by my own bra.
That was like one of the stories that
Yeah.
she loved to tell. Anytime she could talk about that story, like she was talking about that story.
I gotta plug the computer in real quick.
I'm sensing a theme every week. But I like Carrie Fisher. If you have not read any of her books, like I highly recommend it. They're so good. Some get a little bit deeper than others. One of them, it like made me bawl my eyes out. But like there's some what was it? The one where I can't remember. I think her daughter may have read it. But it was talking all about filming Star Wars, and a lot of it talked about her affair that she had with Harrison Ford.
I don't know if I have read that one yet, but I've heard a few of the stories from that.
Yeah.
I get so far from my bed.
Am I pushing you over?
I don't think so.
I could be.
I'm just wandering away.
I'm very pushy.
So am I.
Pushy.
Oh, speaking though of their romance, in the book, which was based on a diary Fisher kept during A New Hope.
Yeah.
Yep,
That's the
that's
one
got to be that one.
Yeah.
She claimed that she had an affair with Harrison Ford during production.
Mm-hmm.
Ford himself confirmed that the affair happened, but has not chosen to elaborate out of respect for Fisher. Who died just a month after the book was published.
The book was so good. Like, there's so much tea in that book. Like, it was so great. What?
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I forgot about this one. You're gonna love it.
No.
All right. While the late Peter Mayhew may not have had a single speaking role in all of Star Wars, the character he played, Chewbacca, is easily the most lovable sidekick in the entire franchise.
Yes.
But while the iconic Wookiee is instantly recognizable on screen, from afar he could be mistaken for something else entirely. Like a bear, or like Bigfoot.
I say, Earth Wookiee, Bigfoot.
This was the situation Mayhew found himself in when filming the indoor scenes in Return of the Jedi.
The Redwood.
In the Redwoods. While shooting in the Redwood Forest of Northern California, Mayhew was escorted by men wearing orange vests whenever he was in costume.
Oh my
Their
God.
concern was that a hunter would mistake him for a Sasquatch and shoot him.
I'm telling you, like a Wookiee, it makes you wonder. Originally, where did we talked about the look of Chewbacca changed and evolved over time. It was originally.
We talked about it in our creatures episode?
No, we did not. Oh my goodness. Now I can't remember, but we talked about how he evolved and it looked entirely different. What was it? Or was it that the Ewoks changed? Oh my God. I can't even remember. Because we talked about how it changed and the Oh, okay, never mind. All right, I know. We got there. So originally we were talking about when we read Warwick Davis's book and him being an Ewok. That originally in Return of the Jedi they were going to go back to the planet of Kashyyyk and have the Wookiees fight the Empire, but because of how Chewbacca had been portrayed and being bigger, stronger character, they didn't want to do that. That's why they then created the Ewoks. Be more primitive species. There we go.
Okay.
I was like, I know we talked about this and I couldn't get to it. We did.
We did. We got there.
We
Good
definitely
job.
got. But it makes you wonder when you created Chewbacca, like, did he have inspiration from Bigfoot stories?
He had to, right? He looks too much like Bigfoot to have like no inspiration.
So similar to Bigfoot. I'm sure if you get a Bigfoot specialist, he would say that they sound the same too.
Oh, I bet.
Because of the long. That's what we also learned too. Is the long
vocal
throat.
cords are so stretched.
Yep. Yes. When we that was our Wookiee versus Ewok episode.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
That's what we talked about it.
For our sad attempts of trying to learn how to speak Chewbacca.
Yes. They weren't great, but we tried. So Phil says he got to meet Peter Mayhew in the early 2000s, and he was such a sweet, sweet man.
Yes, I got to meet him at Celebration 4 in LA. I didn't buy like the autograph or anything. And this was back in the time because it was like 2004 or 5.
Okay.
I walked up and took a picture with him.
Oh.
And they didn't charge, like, I just was like, hey, I'm a fan. And I chit-chatted with them. I was like, can I get a picture? And he's like, yeah, sure. We took a picture.
Such a neat interaction.
Like, I get it. I also did that with David Prowse too.
Yeah.
And I met Larry Baker, I think. Didn't get a picture with them, but I also
all at the same.
Yeah. And this is back when like Luke Skywalker. So Mark Hamill's autograph was only like $60 back then.
Whoa.
Carrie Fisher, $60. And back then,
wild to think
and
of
what's crazy was back then I was complaining about how expensive it was. I was like, God, this is way too much money for a celebrity. Like,
right, because it's just the signature, right?
And
now you're like, they're hundreds.
I'm gonna say some of them $350, and I'm like, this is astronomical. And it's not necessarily the celebrities that set the pricing. It's
their teams and their agents and their agencies. But
I'm gonna say the people who set up all the
and a lot of the
autographs,
cons. Sometimes cons will have a set like, this is what you're charging
because they have to make a certain amount of money back to pay for the celebrities. But I wish I would have got all those autographs back then. But
that'd be neat.
I was a poor college student.
There, that was like right after we graduated high school, like 1 or 2 years after.
I was working at Disney at that time. That was my first time I ever cosplayed.
Was it?
I cosplayed as Padme from Attack of the Clones.
You gotta send over some pictures.
I gotta find them. That's the thing. They're on a hard drive somewhere. And
Once you find them, then we'll put some stuff together and show
I
you
have
guys.
moved several times since then, so I don't know where the hard drive is.
Well, you look. You look.
I'll
And when
find
you
it.
find them, we'll put them up. So we got the next one. Director Irving Kershner told of a particularly memorable shot that was taken during one such storm while they were filming on Hoth. They were like in the middle of like blizzards and freezing winds.
So
and,
Empire Strikes Back.
Yep. The shot in question was a scene where Luke wanders back to base after the Wampa attack.
Okay.
Unable to leave their hotel due to the winds, the production crew stayed at the entrance and filmed
Yes.
while Mark Hamill wandered around in the snow.
It's too cold for everybody to go out. So they
But
would
they
sit
didn't let him in. They just made him stand there. The storm.
Yeah, I'm saying they shot from like the doorway. I mean,
Oh, sorry, bro. You're Luke Skywalker. You'll be fine.
you're the face of the movie, so you gotta do
Yeah,
it.
sorry.
We're
we
not.
can't afford for you to take.
Yeah, I've heard that story. Because it got really, really cold. Wasn't it like negative temperatures where they filmed at, I believe? I would look it up on my
I don't remember. Yeah.
I would look it up on my phone, but
I would too,
can't.
but I got my stories on my phone. Okay, back to funny stories from the set of A New Hope, though.
okay.
One of the funniest behind-the-scenes stories was while they were in Tunisia. So while shooting scenes for Tatooine, the production crew for the biblical epic Jesus of Nazareth had set up shop nearby. For the most part, the two crews didn't bother each other very much. That is until one of the remote-controlled R2 units malfunctioned. Unable to stop the droid, which no longer responded to radio control.
Oh
The
no.
crew watched helplessly as R2-D2 paid the folks at the Jesus of Nazareth said a visit.
Oh my gosh. All these like religious people are like, what incarnations?
No, they say tarnation in Tunisia. Because
Oh
we're
my
like,
God.
it's like a southern thing, right?
I don't know why I went there with that.
You're like filming
Is
baby
this-
Jesus, and here comes R2-D2.
What is this
folks.
metal devil doing over here?
Oh, I love R2. He is my favorite for so many reasons.
He's also the most vulgar character in he's always being bleeped out.
Mm-hmm.
So vulgar. To be bleeped out all the time.
Everything's a four-letter word. Oh, okay.
All right.
Let me look up my next article.
Oh goodness. I love R2. R2's
Oh,
great.
He is my freaking favorite.
Oh, talking about where's my book?
Oh, I put it right there.
Yes. We're going to my book. Well,
Yeah, I'll pick that up.
okay.
It's fine.
Denise is knocking over things. Where is?
While you're looking for the next one, while filming The Empire Strikes Back, Fisher rented Eric Idle's house.
Who's Eric Idle?
He was in Monty Python.
Oh, okay. My grandmother was obsessed with Monty Python.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I like Monty
Every-
Python.
yeah.
It's so fun. Oh. Going back to the baby Jesus and the children shall lead. What the hell is that?
Tin can devil.
That's probably one of my favorites. Oh, okay. Whew. The Monty Python actor was still spending time at the property while he was renting it, and one night he invited the Rolling Stones over. Fisher asked Fisher asked Harrison Ford to join too, and the two actors drank and partied with the band. The only problem was that they were due on set in a few hours. We weren't hungover, Fisher said about filming the scene. We were still in our cups, so they were still drunk.
So what
And
movie
if
was
you-
this for?
Empire.
Okay.
And if you watch the movie, you can see that Harrison and I are smiling as we arrive in Cloud City. Doesn't that sound like a euphemism? I like it. How do I keep getting so far away from the mic?
I don't know because I'm being pushy.
I don't think you are though.
I found
I think I'm just wandering away.
I found what I wanted to show you though.
Yeah, let's
It's
do it.
another droid.
Oh, who is he?
That is Astromech Droid GT22. So
Hello,
it's a GT.
GT22.
But again, you guys, I'm telling you, my like
The droids are the freaking best.
look at that droid. I can't
Look at him.
He's so cute. I think he's cool, and Owen's like, no, he's not as cool as R2.
He's right. He's not as cool as R2. But we should make one.
I think this one is so cool looking. I like the droids.
Me
They're
too.
fun.
The droids and the creatures. Totally my favorites.
Creatures. I love creatures.
Mm-hmm. Whoa. What is that? Show them that picture. Of whatever this thing is, it's amazing.
I don't know.
It's kind of a Tuca, but like 1,000 times bigger.
Volca?
With horns? Volca?
Sorry. My like
This is rad.
distracted like all over the place today.
It's fine.
I had a very long day. I think it's because I keep moving back and I'm gonna just smack you in the face right now.
Okay.
So maybe that's like
That's some excitement I'd rather not have, but if we did, at least it would be on video. And that would be funny.
it would.
Okay. This was one of my favorite things to read too. Okay. So while filming Empire Strikes Back, Fisher asked her space brother Mark Hamill to try on her Hoth space jumpsuit. During the 2017 Star Wars celebration, Hamill told the audience how Fisher then accessorized the outfit with clown nose, glasses, and bozo hair. And after Hamill was dressed, Fisher took him by the hand and paraded him around the entire studio.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
He also wore Fisher's floral robe around set simply because she asked him to. After sharing the story, Hamill said, "I don't think I would have done that for anybody but her. Nothing pleased me more than making her laugh."
You know, they always, every story you hear, especially between like Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill, they always just seem like they genuinely had a lot of fun together.
Yeah.
Like they are always goofing off, like truly like a brother-sister relationship.
Yeah, like they were really, really friends. Like,
I'm saying, and you could see that too in the relationship on screen,
mhm.
which makes me sad because I wish we would have got more in the sequels.
Yeah.
Except that one scene, but they didn't bring him in for Force Awakens, and then Carrie Fisher passed away.
Yeah, so they weren't able to do much with her. And...
Oh,
yeah.
I wish we could have seen more of the brother sister, but you could tell that they still cared. I wanted to know more about their story. Like, I want to know more about what happens between Return
we
and
could
the
still
Rise.
get like a TV show where they could go back. You know, they could do something animated or have actors play younger versions of themselves.
Ooh.
Maybe.
So I know some people don't like it, but I am totally okay with actors, like them recasting characters. Like, I have no problem. And I know Mark Hamill has said he has no problem if they hire an actor to come in to play a younger him.
Right. Yeah.
I think the only one I might have like an issue seeing is like somebody else playing Princess Leia.
Yeah.
But I think that's the only one I'd ever be like, like
Carrie's our princess, right? Unless we're talking about different ages.
I'm
of
saying
course,
because
we
the
have,
child one
you know,
was really good.
She was fantastic.
But that's like Liam Neeson said he doesn't want anybody to ever play Qui-Gon. But then like we have the whole Ahsoka show coming out season 2. Like
So,
are recasting.
is it going to
Skulls.
be CGI or?
I think they're gonna have to recast them.
You think?
And I'm okay with that. Like his
As
story
long as they
was
do a good job with what they're doing. Like, just continue to tell the story.
Yeah. So side note. Sorry.
Speaking of all the fun that you think that they had on set, here's a story to illustrate that.
All right.
So, on a particularly hot day while filming the original trilogy, someone brought squirt guns to the set.
Okay.
Peter Mayhew, the actor who played Chewbacca, remembers Fisher grabbing one and running around in costume soaking Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, and anyone else who got in her way. Eventually, someone had to take the toy away from her.
Did she squirt like? Did she?
You paused at the wrong place.
I know. Did she use the water gun on Peter Mayhew while he was in costume? Could you imagine?
Oh,
like a Wookiee costume wet?
being squirted.
Being blasted with a water gun? They're terrible people.
I know, but
They're
it's
terrible,
funny.
terrible people. God, what it smelled like that wet, like fur.
Oh yeah, 'cause
Oh,
it
is
gets so
it?
hot. People definitely sweat inside of it. Like
But is it real hair? Is it synthetic hair? Like, was it?
it's gotta be synthetic, right?
I don't know. Like, we know people who used real hair. I think. I didn't want to say name.
That's fair. Wouldn't that be even heavier though?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
It's all about the spacing.
Okay.
Wet
Wet yak hair.
You gross
Ah.
yak.
Let's see.
What else you got for us, Rexy?
Yeah, checking for the next one. Oh, here we go.
Oh, is it? I think I might know which one you're talking about.
Yeah?
I think. Can I guess?
Yeah.
I do know that during A New Hope, the actor who played Grand Moff Tarkin would constantly wear his slippers around the set instead of his shoes because they didn't never show his feet. So he wore like house shoes around that. Was that not it? Yeah, he would wear house shoes.
Picturing Tarkin and everything, and then like bunny slippers.
It would be great if it was bunny slippers, but I don't think it was bunny
Oh,
slippers.
I hope it was bunny slippers.
Oh, so never mind. So what's your story, Rexy?
Here we go.
Okay.
So at one point during filming for Return of the Jedi, Hamill and Fisher were pulled aside and told that their characters were actually twins separated at birth. Upon hearing this, Hamill asked, well, if I'm Luke Skywalker from the Moisture Farm on Tatooine, and she's Princess Leia, does that make royalty? Would that make me royalty? Without missing a beat, Fisher said no.
He wasn't adopted by the royal family of Alderaan.
No, and it wasn't a blood thing.
It was my adopted family.
All right, I've got one more. So you say your next thing. I'll look up my next thing.
Talking about like adopted families, so we have Leia, who was adopted by the Organas, and then Luke Skywalker is taken back to Tatooine, where his father was born, with the same last name Skywalker. That's not really like a good hiding.
No, it's not. That name is not like. Oh, it's 15 minutes to sunset. My watch just let me know.
Is it?
Yeah, I have it set up to tell me when it's 15 minutes.
Oh, I don't.
Where are they?
Am I making you lose your space again?
No, I switched over to a different page, and it didn't bookmark my place, just the page itself.
Oh no.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell you some really funny bad reviews.
Oh, I like bad reviews.
Okay, so this one.
Okay.
There we go. This one is from the very first one, from Star Wars, or Star Wars A New Hope.
Okay.
There's no breather in the picture, no lyricism. The only attempt at beauty is in the double sunset. It's enjoyable on its own terms, but it's exhausting too, like taking a pack of kids to the circus.
There is a lot going on. Like, so I guess I can kind of see that, but it's a 3-part story within a 3-part, well, actually 9-part story.
Yeah.
But like, there is a lot going on.
Yeah. But at the time that had come out, I think it was the only Star Wars they had ever had, though.
Yeah.
Here we get another one. It's an epic without a dream, but it's probably the absence of wonder that accounts for the film's special huge success. The excitement of those who call it the film of the year goes way past nostalgia to the feeling that now is the time to return to childhood. An hour into it, children say that they're ready to see it again. That's because it's an assemblage of spare parts. It has no emotional grip.
So,
Really? I saw that the first time when I was like a small child, like 5 or 6.
okay.
And I was hooked.
Well,
Immediately.
Yeah, that's what it's saying. That the children are hooked because it's not.
Oh, yeah, I was a child. Okay. Yeah.
I
fair.
can see, like, I know adults who watch it for the first time. There, a lot of them are like, okay? Like,
Yeah.
they're not the
Not super into it.
it's a much simpler yet not simpler story, if that makes sense. Like, it's very a kid watches his family die. He goes out into outer space. Oh, he now has these powers, and he joins this rebellion, and now he becomes the hero. And it's
Yay,
a story.
kid!
It's a story that's been told a ton of times.
Yeah.
But in space, which
Yeah.
also had already been told in space because then we have Dune. Like, it's a very common story.
Just, like, resonated with so many of us, but
and people
most
like
people
that.
were not about it.
People like that storyline of the what's the word that I'm looking for?
Underdog.
The underdog story. It's an
People
underdog.
like to root for the underdog. Yeah.
That's what that story was, and that's why people liked it, because they saw themselves as an underdog, just living their daily life, and then going off, and then saving the entire galaxy. Like, but I can see it. Adults watch it now, and they're like, ugh.
They're like, like if you get somebody that wasn't a fan forever, and you're like, hey, sit down and watch A New Hope. Like, Leo was falling asleep through that movie so many times.
Matt falls asleep through it every time. My 12-year-old child will not watch the originals.
Yeah.
Because he finds them boring.
That makes sense. The more we get into it, I think the more we appreciate them.
The more complex the stories get as they go. And they also, but I think the help of technology and CGI and all the special effects.
Because they just didn't have it.
No, they didn't. They created the special effects for the movies. They created, like, what?
Got another one.
Oh, no.
I sincerely hope that science and scientists differ from science fiction and its practitioners. Heaven help us if they don't. We may be headed for a very boring world indeed. Strip Star Wars of its often striking images and its highfalutin scientific jargon, and you get a story, characters, and dialogue of overwhelming banality, without even a future cast to them. Human beings, anthropods, or robots, you could probably find them all more or less like that in downtown Los Angeles today. Oh, dull new world.
So, I'm listening to the reviews, and they're talking about how it's not really complex, it's kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
These were movies that were written for children movies, and Lucas has said that over and over and over again. They are kid films, especially the originals. They are kid films, and you can see that in the story. And then you jump to the prequels. The prequels are like, oh, let's make it all war and politics.
Yep.
So people who say politics are not in Star Wars, yes, it is.
Oh.
It has been there from the very beginning.
It's huge. Yeah. Yeah.
The originals were for kids.
All of this is based on politics.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
We are treated to a galactic civil war, assorted heroes and villains, a princely maiden in distress, a splendid old man surviving from an extinct order of knights who possessed a mysterious power called the Force. And it is all as exciting as last year's weather reports. Why, even the most exciting fight is an old-fashioned duel, for all that the swords have laser beams or blades.
They were very underwhelming. Laser sword fight.
Laser swords.
But, like...
And it was. I mean, I think we appreciate them so much because we are so involved in the story now.
And we grew up with it, but also, like...
So there's some nostalgia factor.
There's a lot of nostalgia factor, but also now they've expanded on so much. Like, with the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, they definitely play into that, because Obi-Wan now, at this point, like, after the show, he was, like... He became, like... He got peace with himself. He found, like, he knew what happened with Vader. And even Vader was like, you didn't do this to me. Like, I am what, like, I am.
Yeah.
And this is not your fault. Like,
no, I did this.
I did this. And so I think when Obi-Wan went to, when he was confronting Vader in A New Hope, now that we know all this, he wasn't going to put up a big fight. Like, he's already come to peace with that. So
he's like, this is kind of just what it is.
Stand there, and he's going to sacrifice himself so the next generation can live on.
Yep.
Kind of like Luke
we know so much
in The Last Jedi. Yes. So connecting.
Circles.
Luke did what his master taught him.
And
he sacrificed
he did it
so that the resistance could escape and get away.
And we know all of that now, and that makes us like,
yes.
Yeah. Here it is, all trite characterization and paltry verbiage. The one exception is Alec Guinness as the grand old man Ben Kenobi. Ben for the Hebrew Ben to make him sound biblical and good. Kenobi, probably from cannabis, i.e. hashish, for reasons you can probably guess. Still, Star Wars will do very nicely for those lucky enough to be children or unlucky enough never to have grown up. I would count myself very lucky to have never actually had to grow up.
My kid called me out last night for being a child.
I feel like that deserves a high five.
We were talking on our way home, and he's like, "Mom, aren't you just a big child with all your Star Wars toys and Legos?" I was like,
Yeah.
"You know what? Leave me alone. You play your video games, I talk my Star Wars." So, hush you.
Here we go. Speaking of kids, if you are a kid at heart, a diehard Star Trek fan, or just a confirmed addict of Marvel comics, Star Wars will completely dazzle.
Yeah.
Using such interplanetary stalwarts as Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers for inspiration, director George Lucas has concocted a mind-blowing spectacle that sends the audience off into the wondrously strange world of fantasy and satisfies just about everyone's adolescent craving for a corny, old-fashioned adventure movie.
I mean, they're
Thank you,
not
Pat.
wrong.
It's
It's
a
very
fun adventure movie.
Very on point.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Star
Oh,
Wars
no.
is somewhat grounded by a malfunctioning script and hopelessly infantile dialogue. Surrounded by these fascinating creatures, the actors barely hold their own. To be sure, Mark Hamill has a bland-faced innocence as Skywalker,
Yeah.
and Carrie Fisher is comically plucky as the distressed Princess Leia, but Harrison Ford hams it up terribly as Han Solo, a cynical space pirate who has flown from one side of this galaxy to another and seen a lot of stuff.
So, okay, let's touch base on that. Even George Lucas has admitted he is not the best writer, and that is why Empire and Return of the Jedi are significantly better stories than A New Hope because somebody else wrote it. Wait, did somebody? I know somebody else directed it. Did somebody else write it, or I think they helped write it together? Are you looking at
which one are we looking at?
Empire Strikes Back.
You want the director?
Who wrote it?
That wasn't a word at all. Lucas, Lee Brackett.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say he had more people helping writing.
Yeah, there were a lot of people. Wait, that's the whole cast.
What? Lawrence. There we go.
Who is it?
I knew it. Lawrence
Kasdan.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
Lucas did not write the Empire,
Okay.
or he brought in other people, which was originally going to be what he wanted to do with the prequels. Was he was going to do the first one,
Okay.
and then bring people in to do number 1, number 2, number 3, and he had people lined up, but Ron Howard was supposed to do one. And he didn't have the time for it. So then Lucas just did it all.
What was Ron Howard doing?
I don't know.
Anybody know what Ron Howard was working on when he had to turn down Empire?
Well, not Empire, and the prequels.
Oh, the prequels. When he had to turn down the prequels.
I don't remember what, but I do know he had to.
Empire doesn't make sense. Ron Howard would have been like 9.
No, he would have been.
How do you? Wasn't
When
he?
did
Was
the
he a
Andy
little
Griffith
kid
show?
in Andy Griffith?
Yeah, I don't know.
When did Andy Griffith come out?
I
That was
don't know.
70s, wasn't it?
No, because it was black and white.
Oh, 50s?
Maybe.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so Ron Howard was a kid in the 50s.
Apollo 13, maybe. I think that sounds about right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was other movies that he had to do.
I have no concept of time.
No, you don't. It's okay.
He would have been in his 20s or 30s probably. Yeah. Oh my gosh, we have been on here for 49 minutes.
Yeah. So,
This was fun.
It was fun.
This was fun. We'll do one of these again for maybe the next group sometime.
Ooh, I'm already thinking of ideas for next week's episode. So, yeah.
These are really fun. I really like hanging out with you guys on here.
I hope you all have a great Wednesday evening.
Bad Batch night.
Or morning.
Or morning if you're Denise. Night if you're Rexy.
Oh man, I struggled to get up this morning.
Yeah.
It was such a good episode.
Is it just a one?
It's a
this
single.
week?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not ready for Bad Batch to be over yet. And we're almost to the end.
I'm not either. Is it next
And
week that's our two-parter and our finale, or is it
no,
the week
the
after?
finale is on May 1st.
Okay, so that's
So, oh, you guys, the beginning of
weeks?
May is gonna be fantastic. May 1st, we got, is it May 1st? May 1st or 2nd? Damn it, I forgot it. Bad Batch ends, and then we got
Yeah.
the Phantom Menace on the 3rd
Oh, that's
in the
right.
movie theater, and then we got on the 4th,
May 4th, of course.
Tales of the Empire. We
Does
need
that
a
drop on the 4th?
May 4th. All episodes.
All of them? Oh my
Let's
god.
talk next week about the trailer and predictions that we have.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it'll be like a whole nother Acolyte trailer
Yeah,
discussion
well,
that one.
oh man, this is fantastic. The trailer's are so good. We're doing entire episodes
Yeah, we'll
about
talk
them.
about Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah, so tune in for that.
Yes,
We're gonna hang
yes.
out and talk about the Tales trailer. Maybe we'll throw in
Not-
a little bit of
Tales of the Empire. I said Tales of the Jedi. Which is so funny because like,
yeah. Tales of the Empire is coming. Tales of the Jedi was last year.
because they at Celebration, was it last year? In London?
When
They
they
s-
did the
They announced a Tales of the Jedi 2. So is it just
oh yeah, they did. Maybe this is
maybe
part
instead
2.
of
Yeah.
2 they did Tales of the Empire.
Mhm.
Ooh, oh, I have other things I want to talk about next week. Next week.
Okay, next week then.
Yes. Okay.
So maybe we'll hit on the oh, what was the game trailer that I just watched today?
Star Wars Outlaws.
Outlaws. Maybe we can talk about that trailer too.
Okay.
'Cause I've never wanted to play a Star Wars game more than I want to play this one.
I am so proud of myself. I called it that Kira is going to be in it.
You did? Yep.
Quick snippet that is because it takes place during the Empire and they got all the crime syndicates
Uh-huh.
that name drop. Why would Kira not be in it? She is running.
Yes.
Crimson
She's in
Dawn.
charge. She's taken over by now.
We see Han
she
Solo
killed
and
Boss.
we see Han Solo and Carbonite in the trailer, and
We do.
immediately
Yep,
I was like,
yep.
Kira's going to be
So
in
we're
it.
gonna see, because she is the one who got the information out.
Yep. She knew that.
So I wonder if Leia might make an appearance during that because she busted him out, and that's kind of during the same.
I don't think so. I just think it's going to be this character is going to have some run-ins with
Okay.
Jabba the Hutt doing some jobs.
Okay. And we'll get little Easter eggs for
Yeah.
a little bit of fan service.
Yeah. So next week let's talk about games and Tales of the Empire.
Yeah, so tune in for that. It's going to be super fun. And for our Patreons out there or anybody who wants to buy them.
Stickers are going out at the end of the week.
Yep, and they are cute. Well, I don't know if cute's the right word,
We
but
need to drop
they're
it in our
cool.
Patreon and let their Patreons know what the sticker
oh,
is.
they haven't even seen them. You guys haven't even seen them. Well, we'll do that. That way you guys still get your sneak peek. But
Yes.
little plug for our Patreon. If you guys are not watching us, if you guys are not subscribed to us on Patreon, we have them as low as $3, and that gets you behind the scenes. That gets you access to us in other Discord chats that are smaller, more intimate, more time with us.
And we have our special Women of Star Wars episodes. We just dropped our
Is it
L3, yeah.
Mhm.
And I am currently working on one for Ray.
Yeah, because we're gonna do Ray for this month.
So
I'm very excited, and I have an idea for a guest for Ray. So
sweet baby Ray.
yeah, I'm gonna try real hard to get Amber on here.
Alright.
So, it's gonna be fun.
Yes. So from our galaxy to yours,
May the force be with you.
always. Thank you for listening to Sisterhood of the Traveling Bantha, written and produced by Denise McKay.
Edited and produced by Rexy Jupiter. Original logo designed by Tyler Rigney.
Intro and outro music is provided by the Galactic Empire.
You can find us on all streaming platforms at Travel and Bantha.
And join our Discord for fun-filled galaxy chats.
You can also sign up for our Patreon starting at just $3. You get exclusive episodes, merch, behind the scenes, and more.
And a special thanks to all our Jedi Knight members and higher. We have Rooney, Michael Beavers, Mark Collier, and James Peak. From our galaxy to yours,
May the force be with you.
always.